We're doing the King of the Hill for ZeroSpace here. We're in the second beta, so this is the second King of the Hill. Mapu will be observing for us here tonight. It is winner stays and $10 per map win. So we do have some good players signing up. Just to give you a little rundown here, you see the Legion player. That is Smoulet, 80 Smoulet, or 80s Mullet, as some call him. And he'll be playing, Legion, and he'll be utilizing the brand new Arandi mercs, which I definitely haven't gotten to see too much yet, but very interesting. I'll explain some of the units as we get to them. And he's going to be playing against Oddz 01, who's playing Grell, utilizing Grell hero. And we have the Inquisitress as the opener here. Very good dueling hero from 80s Mullet. So they're going to start off by trying to capture these central points a little bit. You know, just a little bit of micro back and forth. One thing to mention, right? Like, the game has been changed pretty heavily, pretty drastically since the last time anyone saw me casting this, right? So this is the second beta phase. They've added some more units. They've tweaked the balance quite a bit. They added some different things with mercs. They've changed quite a bit, right? So it is definitely different. In the last iteration, Grell and the Grell hero specifically seemed to be a little bit too strong. The Grell hero was like just about unkillable. He just basically consumed, just about everything, just flying seedlings and stuff, and just whatever units were nearby and never die. Now, this is one of the new units. This is the Rhino. It's actually pretty darn cool. It is a melee unit. It builds pretty quickly, and it gets that energy so it can do a big strike, right? So if you see it attack, you'll see that. Also, it can jump down cliffs, which can be pretty cool. So you can kind of like run in and harass and then escape really, really quickly with it. So definitely a cool unit. Two of the units, you saw right there, it was jumping down. But two of the units added to the game were for Legion. People might remember that Legion was like a little bit light as far as unit selection goes. And that's partially by design, but also obviously the game is not finished. So right now we have them running in. And it looks like 80s Mullet going to try to harass a little bit, going after a little bit of these Hexite nodes, these extractors. Looks like he is going to be able to pick off at least one here. Pretty darn nice. Definitely going to have to think about how he wants to go ahead and counter that. That is a pretty considerable amount of damage being dealt. And yeah, going to go after this Harbinger now. Kind of similar to like a Roach or something in StarCraft 1. You can see making multiple Harbingers at the moment. Really needs to bring the Grell hero back. Kind of surprised that we have not seen that as of yet. But yeah, the Inquisitress plus the Rhino's doing a great job here. By the way, I love that it's called a Rhino, but it looks more like a Triceratops. All right, Grell hero is back. So yeah, that is going to force just a little bit of a recall here from 80s Mullet. Going to get back. He is adding some thralls in at the moment. And just going to go back and battle for some of these towers. You know, as you can see right now, we haven't gotten all the towers actually even taken yet. Already 2 barracks production here. As well as getting expansion up here for a Legion player in 80s Mullet. Haven't really seen the mercs yet. Kind of excited to see the Arandi mercs in action. And yeah, I guess we'll just kind of wait until we see them. But I really kind of like the design of the Shade one if we end up seeing those. It can pass through units, so it's kind of like, almost like half Blade Master or something like that. Definitely really interesting unit design. I think they've done a really good job with that new Merc faction. Anyways, looks like gonna go ahead and send a seedling over for a third base here for Oddz. You know, I would say that he's he took a little bit of harassment damage, but don't forget there was a slightly later expansion here from 80s Mullet, so maybe it's not that big a deal. Their supplies are pretty even at the moment. All right, comes in now. Inquisitress actually jumping in very, very quickly. You can see there is one infused Harbinger here. And does throw down that tower as well. By the way, as far as those obelisks go, there is a new one. They got rid of the phase one and added in one that does energy, like brings the energy, the mana, whatever you want to call it, back for your heroes mid-battle. So I actually really like that as an idea, because then you don't have to necessarily like run home to try to recharge or anything like that. You can recharge more in the center of the map. But this is just the regular, attacking tower that was made. So leaves that, sacks that, runs up here with Inquisitress and some Thralls. Not exactly sure when we're going to see... Oh, okay. Actually, it looks like a secondary hero is going to get started here. And yeah, we'll wait and see how long that takes to get out. Looks like it's like blocked. Okay, it looks like it just started actually being made now. It looks like that is Kragar as well, which will be on the way. Don't forget that the Legion only can utilize multiple heroes. Legion can get up to 3 heroes, and they get way stronger than the heroes of the other races. Hoping that 80s Mullet continues to tech as well, by the way, because there is a very cool new flying unit for Legion that I think people kind of be excited to see. Now this center going to be, well, maybe taken back. Comes forward right now with that army. Kind of a small army here from Oddz so far, but look at that. A lot of damage being dealt immediately. The Thralls, of course, they're like not that strong, so getting picked off pretty quickly there. Grell hero still doing a pretty good job of that AoE. All right, so now we have Kragar out there as well. The third one going to be Galavax, but we'll see if Galavax even comes into play. Just some regular armored thralls coming in now as well. Just kind of like the melee companion to the make 2 at a time, like machine gunner type guys, like Zergling-ish, super weak thralls that are out there. So he's going after one of these harvesters. Okay, so it's just slowing that down a little bit. It does seem like just the general metagame from the games that I've been watching has evolved a little bit. A lot more harassment on harvesters, I feel like I've seen. There was some of that before, but it seems like people are focusing on that as a really good way to rotate around the map and kind of keep busy having some sort of action that's worthwhile. So right now, pulled back onto his own grass, going to remove some of these destructible rocks. 80s Mullet still just kind of rotating around here. It is 3 base versus 3 base at the moment, although 80s Mullet's base not completely operational. I guess actually Oddz isn't either. Now you see, ooh, that AoE damage dealing so much. Dude, these Thralls cannot stay up against this. This is a real bad problem right now. Okay, the Inquisitress does get out of there. You definitely want to save your heroes here at least. But you can see the Thralls not holding up as well at this point. Definitely having a little bit of a hard time. Yeah, I mean, the Stingers and Harbingers are doing a fantastic job. You can see that infused one as well. Pretty darn strong. And really just kind of like mass infantry here out of 80s Mullet at the moment. Right? So if I can put this into like another term, it's like almost like really weak Marines and like Zealots being made against basically like Ling Roach. So yeah, I mean, good production overall. Another barracks on the way. I'm gonna walk forward here and try to take yet another engagement. Let's see what the Inquisitress can actually get done here. Kragar helping out with that bullseye, and oh, just barely doesn't get the kill on that Harbinger. A little bit rough there. Now, I think I saw a Terror Tower going up, by the way, which is a new structure for Legion, which kind of untech locks the Terror Tank, as well as the new unit, the Dreadnought. So we'll see. Was that a Terror Tower? No, I guess not. I'm sorry. I thought I saw one warping in. But the thing is that, yeah, that they have a new animation as well for the Warpins. It almost looks like a Dark Shrine. It's like a Protoss Warpin field kind of ish. Now moving forward once again with the Thralls and armored Thralls there. Just heavy bio being made. Lots and lots of barracks. Trying to outmass the Grell player. I mean, I think it is doable, but any AoE on your Thralls is very, very painful. Now it does get one of those Grell Harvesters, so that's kind of nice. Gonna rotate away as well. Still haven't really seen Merc usage on these sides. We finally do have some Mercs coming out for our Grell player here, Oddz. Yeah, and looks like, I believe those were some warriors, but we'll see again when we go back to that army. Yeah, a few warriors. So they summon the crabs that come out and kind of fight for you. They did get a kind of a big nerf during the last beta phase. Those crabs were really strong for a little bit. Now we have some higher end units starting to come out here as well. Very good to see. Yeah, gonna get some Reavers out there and Not like the StarCraft 1 Reaver. It's more like an Ultralisk, but maybe not quite as strong. Now pushing forward. We do have Gallivax out there as well. So all 3 heroes for Legion, Oddz Mullet is playing with at the moment. See some Infused Harbingers in here, as well as that Reaver. Goes forward now, throwing down some towers, as well as AoE from that other side. Gallivax putting out the Fireball. You're definitely going to want to pull back here against that Gallivax Fireball. Really good landing. Deals a lot of damage, kills a lot of high-quality units right there. The Warriors going to be taken out as well. Well, right now, looks like we do have more the Rageborns coming out. Well, those were the first couple Rageborns. Definitely very powerful with Grell, but those ones in particular not infused. So gonna not last very long. Looks like Oddz Mullet takes a pretty, what looks to me like a pretty good advantage there, but he is just 3 base against 4 base. So we might just be able to have, you know, Oddz remass up a little bit. And in fact, is that a 4th base being taken? It looks like it, or a 5th base being taken. It looks like it is. So yeah, that's like a lot of bases. But coming in right now to try to attack it, I don't know. Do you have enough here? That's a lot of stingers there. The Reaver, a couple of the Rageborns coming down as well. Oh, and it looks like those are actually infused Rageborns. So that's going to be extremely, extremely powerful. Gets forward on top of everything. And yeah, he's going to absolutely murder this army, I think. You got to back up out of here. Gallivax might get caught and slowed continuously. The Rageborn kind of being microed in front and blocking. Really, really well done. Those Rageborns, you can see just how tanky they are after an infusion. Kragar trying to micro back. Unfortunately here... oh, there's Inquisitress. Okay, okay. And now finally a Terror Tank has joined us. Interesting choice for the Terror Tank. Maybe going to go like anti melee units, something like that, considering there's Rageborns out and everything. Not exactly sure what we're going to end up seeing. Well, coming over here now. Yeah, getting a couple of those turrets up. Throws down an obelisk here as well. Lots of Rageborns. That's starting to get pretty scary. I don't think that this Legion army really stands too much of a chance. You can see Oddz' supply continuing to grow, doing a really good job, you know, purchasing all of these Rageborns. It's just very common. And there's the new unit, the new structure, the Terror Tower. Those beams you see coming out, it actually speeds up production of nearby buildings as well as upgrades. So it's like almost like chrono boosting just by being nearby. So definitely very important to have good building placement with that. Now, with only one Terror Tank here, like seriously, when I look at these thralls for the side of Oddz Mullet here on Legion, the guys with the guns, I really think of those dumb guys that are called paper people from Guardians of the Galaxy. Because they're going to die really quickly, these Rageborns, the Reavers, and everything. Now, Gallivax throws out that Fireball. It actually gets some pretty reasonable damage in there. Good shields. Look at that. Actually doing a fantastic job utilizing the Terror Tank there for some shielding. Those front armored thralls, pretty tanky as well. All right, going to continue to push forward. Oh my God, the Reaver going to do a charge forward. He does pull out of the way, which is important. The Reaver coming forward and trying to deal some damage with Kragar, putting that bullseye on him. You've got to watch out when your units get targeted like that. Another Gallivax Fireball rolls through. Really focused firing down the Reaver. It looks like it is going to end up falling, and I think Oddz Mullet has basically done it. You have this endgame like flowers thing. Still a little bit confused about what it truly ends up doing. But yeah, he looks like Oddz Mullet going to take down one of these bases. Only a single Terror Tank in there. Kind of interesting, though. I like how he utilized some shielding with it. Just continued with the mass barracks approach. Maybe a little bit more splash damage could have been used here by Oddz. And, you know, maybe the game isn't done still. Maybe you still have some sort of shot. All right, well, that's a Gallivax ability you see where it just kind of hits lightning all over the place kind of randomly during the battle. Deals a lot of damage as well. Well upgraded heroes here for 80s Mullet. And the Rageborns, as these fall, I think we're going to see a GG. And that's going to be it. GG. 80s Mullet going to win that first game. All right. Now, one thing to mention that was kind of funny there. 80s Mullet did choose Arandi, which is the new Merc faction. We didn't see any of those Mercs. So what are you going to do?